What is going on, guys? Welcome to another YouTube video. Now, with the California Resistance update, there's going to be a new map called Eastwood, where it kind of has a Southern California vibe to it. We already did a review on Blackwell Field, so I want to do another map review with Eastwood. We're going to be talking about the map size, the map structure, some of the positives, some of the negatives that I do like about this map. Mostly positive though, because I see it's a very well structured map. I feel like this map is very well designed for all classes to be able to be played, where one wouldn't be favored over the other. Like, it wouldn't be recon heavy, it wouldn't be assault heavy, it wouldn't be engineer heavy. All classes can have fun on this map. But if anything, let's get right into it. Alrighty, so let's start with the map size. Now, I think with this map, it is smaller than Blackwell Field. It's about a medium-sized map, I would like to say. It's bigger than the Empire State, but smaller than Firestorm. Starting with talking about the map structure, I think the points are very evenly dispersed. I mean, when you look at points A, B, F, and G, it's properly 4 corners of the map, and then you got both enemy teams trying to fight over C, E, and D. I think the idea of a triangle point thing is cool. I think it's nice, but it does get a little lopsided when it comes to players trying to either capture or attack these specific points. Let me explain. So if you are the team that is spotting an F and G, right? If you look at about the walk distance from F to E and G to D, both of these have about equal walking distance. So if you are on the F and G side, you can properly reinforce and you can properly defend and get back to points E and D in a sufficient amount of time. But if you are on the A and B side, the only one that you're going to have equal distance for travel to reinforce and defend is going to be C. You notice with D, right, the only point that's going to be able to get to D is B. And sure, we can kind of argue that since C is in more of a favor of A and B taking it over, you can easily have taken C, right, and then you have B and C to kind of defend each other. But I think the way that this map gets counterbalanced, even though that C is the only point that A and B can properly reinforce and defend, is that A and B are very hard defense points to capture because they're very covered. They have this giant hill mound that's covering that walk point. Then you also have a lot of suburban areas and roads and shrubbery that players can easily use to take cover and defend points A and B. When players are trying to push on A or B to try to take it over, there's too many line of sights that are broken because of the suburban design. Compared to points G and F, G is a very open design. There's very limiting amount of covers. I think there's only like a couple of trees and bushes and 1 or 2 buildings that you could take cover, but even then they're more like patios. They don't provide the cover to protect G properly. F is kind of like a castle because F can oversee all of these line of sights for enemies that are coming in. Whether the enemy does have C or E, F can still take enemy players down that are trying to push on F. But you got point G. I feel like point G, I've taken point G very easily when I'm on the opposing team for A and B because of how open G is. So I think that's the only counterbalance I would say in regards to how the map design feels a little lopsided with the points. But anyways, moving on with the vehicles. Now, in regards to vehicle play, I think vehicles are maybe favored, if I had to give it a specific number or percentage, maybe about 65%. Just because when you look at the areas that the players are trying to travel to, either coming from point A and B or point F and G, there's a lot of open road and a lot of hills that are easily exposed and can be hit while they're traveling to those points. Because I feel like a lot of the travel distance from A and B and F and G trying to fight towards the middle has a lot of open space where vehicles can take advantage of enemies traveling. Also, another challenge is yes, there is a building in the center that a lot of players can take cover inside, but a lot of the buildings I've noticed are very easily destructible in this map. So I've seen tanks come through, I've seen regular infantry vehicles push through these walls, so players really don't have much cover when it comes to vehicle defense. I would say as an engineer and you're trying to take down any vehicles in the middle, the only real cover that you can take cover behind is probably your hill mounds that's going to be on the left and right side of the map right over here. These mounds are big enough where you can hide behind the ridges and keep popping on tanks that are in the center. But as a reminder for the engineers who are fighting on the hills and taking the tanks down, you also have to be wary that you are open to attack helicopters being able to pick you off at the same time. But when it comes to cover though, you compare this to like Blackwell Fields and how much open space the players have to travel on that map, yeah, the vehicles are definitely more favored on Blackwell compared to this. And that's why I say I give it about 65% rather than anything higher. But speaking of using these hill mounds, right, with the open areas and these hill mounds that can oversee the entire building and section in the middle, this leaves a very good opportunity for recons to come in. because the buildings that are in C, E, and D capture points, very easily you can use your drone to get assist points, you can use your sensor grenades, you can use your track darts on the vehicle very easily. So for my recon class, I think you'll still have a lot of opportunity to pick people off. Not if you're trying to complete like long distance shots, maybe anything between 100 to 150 meters, you'll be landing some good shots over here. Another thing that I like about this map is that even though it's open, there's multitudes of different elevations. You got the hills, you got the golf resorts, you got the stairs going up and down. So there's different elevation changes. So for my assault guys who like to have that close and medium engagements, this is going to be a very good map for you. And because you're trying to fight for the middle 3 points, a lot of my engineers who just want to run the SMG, when you are fighting in that golf resort, there's going to be plenty of opportunities for close quarter combat. So if I had to give an overall rating of the map, I would give it a solid 8 out of 10. I mean, the capture points, they're very equally spaced to have equal travel time, besides the whole lopsidedness with A and B and F and G. There's a clear lane distinction and the line of sight fights to make it a nice like mono-e-mono team fight. Hill versus hill, building versus building. A lot of good chaos and destruction for the teams that are trying to fight for the points in the middle. And it also gives great opportunities for all class types to have their own fun on this map. And the only reason I took points away and I did not give this a 10 out of 10 is, like I said, when you are spawning on F and G points, you can easily have the greater advantage of reinforcing and defending E and D compared to points A and B trying to reinforce and defend C and D. And the slight advantages vehicles will have on this map because of players spawning on A and B or F and G and making their way towards the center point. It is a lot of open field and a lot of open areas, so for anybody that's great with vehicles and know how to cut enemies' line of sight and know their walkway and routes, can very easily route a lot of people. But if anything guys, that is my review on the Eastwood map. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Do you think it's a dub? Do you think it's an L? Let us know how you're enjoying the map so far. But if anything guys, if you did enjoy this video, please drop a like on it. It helps it tremendously in the algorithm. And if you do enjoy the content overall, drop a sub to the channel. We'd love to see you here for the next video, okay? But as always, stay pure, stay noble, and hashtag bring back honest gaming. Later guys.
Why are you swearing so much? Likeway. Cannot. I would like a Big Mac. Can I get a bigger Mac? Okay.